I'd like to call to order the regular meeting for March 26, 2025.
President Zipfel.
Here.
Vice President Rogers.
Here.
Commissioner Andrus.
Here.
Commissioner Lestracco.
Here.
Commissioner Partha.
Here.
We're not used to a crowd this nice and this big. And this is definitely a celebratory night, so we're excited to have a very filled room. We start obviously with our Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm going to embarrass her, and I didn't tell her in advance. I would like to ask former Commissioner Deb Zimmerman to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, because one of the two recognitions tonight, she is the creator of recognizing outstanding women in Hatfield for Women's History Month, so I'd like to, as a nod to her and as thank you, to have her lead us in the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
From the look on her face, I suspect I will have a comment or two from her later just for embarrassing her, but there's no better way to say thank you to someone than publicly embarrass them. I've come to the conclusion of that years ago. So we have a few housekeeping items before we get into our fun stuff. So we'll be quickly moving into those, and then we'll get to what everyone's here for. So first, is there a motion for approval of tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Vice President Rogers, second by Commissioner Andrus. Any questions or comments about the agenda before you? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of approving tonight's agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. We can move forward with the agenda. Citizens' comments. Are there any citizens' comments on agenda items only? Okay. Seeing no one run up to the podium, we're going to move on to our consent items. Is there a motion to enter into the record the consent items that are listed in the agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lestracco,
Second.
second by Vice President Rogers. So the consent items include the treasurer's report for the month of March and the bills payable or paid bills in the amount of $56,846.08 and unpaid bills in the amount of $1,252,567.71. With that, I'll call a question. All in favor of moving those into the record, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Okay, we're going to jump into our first item, which is a really big deal around here because for a lot of reasons that I will explain. It is the recognition of the leadership from Hatfield Volunteer Fire Company and Calmer Volunteer Fire Company for their collaboration on our 5-year capital plan. I would like the 4 recipients from Hatfield, Dean Mininger and Chief Steve Sherlock, and from Calmer, President Doug Servey and Chief Tim Yalls to join me over at the podium. All right, consistent with the notion that there's no better way to say thank you than to get people up here publicly and mildly embarrass them, but with praise. That's what we're doing tonight. So what you're seeing here is the leadership of our 2 volunteer fire companies. And for those of you who don't know how we handle fire protection in the township, some of you are experts in this field, they certainly are. Others probably have not really don't really know exactly how it all works. We do not have paid firefighters in Hatfield. The volunteer fire companies that have been around for a very long time save our township literally millions of dollars just through their volunteerism. So that is a little bit of what we're doing tonight, recognizing people for their volunteerism and their good deeds. And in particular, the first recognition is for the leadership team, because it's more for them. It's more than just when the bell rings, getting up sometimes in the middle of the night, running to a fire, putting out someone, saving someone's home, saving a life. It's even more than that. On top of that, these 4 in particular handle all the administration, all the effort and activity that's necessary to run the organization on top of that. And what we are particularly excited about is that they regularly meet and talk about a 5-year plan. And for us, A 5-year plan means figuring out economically and organizationally what they need and the township's contribution towards that when it comes to fire trucks and equipment and training costs. For those of you who don't know, many, many years ago, there weren't as many, let's call them mandates when it comes to training and obligations. If you pull any one of the 4 of these gentlemen aside and ask them over the years, what's the biggest transformation when it comes to volunteer fire fighting, it's probably the number of hours of requirement for training, right? And then in addition to the changes in equipment, many of which I'm sure were fantastic, but also add to another layer of obligation of training and then expense associated with gathering all that. And this isn't just 4 people sitting in a room and saying, you know what, we should probably get a fire truck in a couple of years. There's a heck of a lot more to that. I have been a part of the fire commission and the fire committee here for years, and I always defer to them as the experts. Their knowledge is just extraordinary and unmatched, and what they do for us and what this unique recognition is about is the effort that they put into developing that 5-year plan. And so it's more than just a night or two. It's a lifestyle that these gentlemen lead. And I also know that their significant others and kids and everything else, they see them every day, and they know that Dad is a firefighter, and they see them every day, and they know that why he's not sitting at the dinner table is because he may very well be meeting with us, or he may be meeting inside their own fire company, or meeting with the other fire company to have these conversations. And my last, kind of point of this recognition is that it's anytime you have 2 organizations, inevitably you'll have 2 different cultures, different members, of course, and these 4 in particular have done a fantastic job of starting to blend those 2 together. For that continuity in particular has been extraordinarily necessary in this time when volunteers generally just seem to have, in any organization, seem to have dried up. But here we have a fully thriving volunteer corps in both sides of the town, and we really just wanted to say thank you for all the things that you've done. And it's not just, like I said, it's not just a moment of time or 2. Your impact is you're going to have an impact for many years to come, and we want to say thank you for that. So you each will be recipients of what is something you can put in your house or your office or even put in the firehouse. And I'll read for everyone it's got. I love the photograph, by the way. Thank you to the staff who put it together. It is a joint picture at the top of Hatfield and Calmer, the 2 fire companies. And it's just, there it is. And I think that is, they say a picture, speaks 1,000 words, right? And that's everything that, as a Hatfield resident, you would want to see. And they exemplify that to the fullest. So it says, the Board of Commissioners is proud to recognize your collaboration on a 5-year capital plan. It reflects the kind of strong leadership that sets this community apart. Really, we can't thank you enough, not just for the everyday things that you do, but for this extraordinary contribution as a part of it. So thank you very much. Oh yeah, where pictures. I just whispered to each of them, "Do you want to speak?" And they all looked at me like, "Why would you even ask me that question, you foolish man?" But we are going to get photographs.
You didn't even look down.
I did. You know, I was halfway through and I realized that. I just said,
I was laughing. You did great. You did great. Jared.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down.
Okay. You might.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm just going to kick off our celebration for our Women's History Month. My name's Jennifer Lostraco. I'm in Ward 1, and I'm so proud to be here and kind of following in Deb Zimmerman's footsteps. Deb Zimmerman, you see her wave? She is our former commissioner, and she did start this very awesome event. So thank you, Deb, for starting this. Was it 5 years ago? 4? 2022? Okay. Okay, 3 years ago. Right. So thank you so much for being here and for beginning this, and we have a little something for you after it's over. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to kick off with Ward 1, and we're going to go through our 5 wards and bring the ladies up here. After we speak on your behalf, if you want to say a couple words, you're more than welcome to do so. And so we're going to start with Ali, or Alejandra McGinley Sepulveda, if you'd like to come on up. I call you Ali, is that okay? Okay, just making sure. Ali happens to be one of my neighbors in Ward 1. She was born and raised in Puerto Rico, and she moved here to, yeah, you can clap. She moved here to the U.S. in 2013. She met her husband, Sean, who's also here tonight, here in Hatfield, and while Hatfield was not their hometown for either one of them, it quickly became their home. And they did move away for a short time, but then they said, we have to move back here. This is where we want to live. So I'm so glad you did, because then I wouldn't have met you. And this is where their son Hunter was born, and Hunter's the one that was clapping. Thanks, Hunter. Allie loves the small town feel of Hatfield, but also appreciates the wide variety of activities and opportunities available to her and her family. Allie has built an impressive career at Clemens Food Group, and in January she was named Director of International and Industrial Sales. She also serves as board president of Blend, B-L-E-N-D, an employee resource group at CFG, where she works to create opportunities, foster talent, and increase retention of all CFG team members. She is also the founder and board president of Plug the People, a nonprofit based in San Juan, Puerto Rico, that helps build awareness and support for school-age children with hearing impairments. And this is something I didn't know about you, and I definitely want to talk to you more about this after, so that's really, really impressive. Allie is also supporting her own children in significant ways. She is a troop helper for her daughter Marina's Girl Scout troop, and Marina's here tonight. She's a child who goes to Culp Elementary, serving as a chaperone on trips and helping to manage the always busy Girl Scout cookie sale season. Allie is also a parent catechist, serving as an at-home teacher for her daughter's Catholic education. In addition to everything she does for her kids, Marina, Hunter, Allie, and Sean also have a Labradoodle, who we know very well, and his name is Zero. Allie always has a do-it-yourself project going on at home. She loves antique shopping, and she continues to pursue a lifelong love of volleyball, playing every chance she gets. I also just want to say that when Allie moved to our neighborhood, her immediate neighbors, that's not me, but her immediate neighbors told her, hey, you just bought that house, that's the party house, so you're going to be having some parties. And she and Sean were up for the challenge, and it was the right family to purchase that particular house. So I know I speak for our neighborhood on Rebecca Drive area, and we really appreciate you, and we're just so proud of you, and thank you. All right, so I am going to call up Mr. Bob Rogers.
I was thinking we should do individually, right? Not to. Should I say something?
Good evening, everybody.
Picture with you.
For Ward,
Bob, before you go, let's get a few pictures with Jen and Ally.
Okay. okay.
Yeah, that is a measure of success.
I'll start again. Good evening, everyone. For Ward 2, I have asked Erin Blanc if she was okay with me nominating her for this year's Women's History Month for Hatfield Township. Of course, she at first said no. And in her words is, I'm not sure, I'm sure you can find someone more qualified than me. That's Erin for you, right? We talked a little bit and she finally agreed. Really worked out good. A little background on Erin. Her parents, Ellen and Bill Allen, have been a big part of serving our community for years. That's why it's no surprise to me that Erin would follow doing the same. Her husband, Jesse, and two sons, Reese and Graham, are here tonight. If you guys want to stand up for a minute and kind of wave hi. All right. Yeah. Okay. Erin's family moved from Bucks County to Hatfield when she was about 6 years old. So she considers Hatfield her home. She attended North Penn schools and met her husband, Jesse, in 9th grade. But they didn't start dating until they both were students at Temple University. Eventually, Jesse's job took them to California for a time, but they were able to return to the East Coast living in Easton. When her children came along, Reese, now 15, Graham, 12, she wanted to move back closer to family. As she puts it, we were thrilled to move back to Hatfield when our boys were very small. There's something very special about raising your own children in the place you grew up, especially when you surround them by family and lifelong friends. Erin feels it is a privilege to live in the same town as all four grandparents, her son's grandparents, and very close to Erin's siblings, 3 siblings, and their children, who all live in the same area. Erin's family enjoys the different amenities and activities that Hatfield offers. The first time she took her sons to the aquatic center, she was alone with an infant and a toddler and felt a little overwhelmed. But they loved it. They loved it so much they spent many of their summer days there. Her sons love riding the bike trails. They also make their stop at Mom's Water Ice all the time. Recently, Erin and Reese had volunteered at a couple of Hatfield pop-up events, and they both had lots of fun helping and meeting neighbors. I think that's passing on a legacy to the next generation. That's good. I met Erin 8-9 years ago. I was very impressed by her dedication to her family and community. Erin has pretty much done pretty much all that you can do as far as volunteering at her son's school. She had spent 9 years volunteering extensively at A.M. Culp Elementary School, and this year will be her last. She served on the home and school board, was a homeroom parent every year, and co-chaired the 6th grade fundraising committee, where she tried new ideas and exceeded fundraising goals. I recall getting phone calls saying, "What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Should I try this, try that?" Certainly new and fresh ideas. She also served as the yearbook advisor and photographer. She's learned a new platform for assembling pages and capturing, editing, and organizing photos from families and staff to ensure as many students as possible were represented in the yearbook. Both of her sons will be at Penfield Middle School next year, so she will continue to offer her time there as well. Erin's sons are involved in baseball, soccer, basketball, track, and there are very few events that she has ever missed. Erin keeps herself informed about school district news and is an engaged parent in the community, frequently offering support and resources to other parents. She's passionate about health, wellness, and patients' rights. Through networking, she has become a valuable resource for families looking to research, educate, and advocate for their health care concerns. Erin has held several administration and project management positions with companies like Neutrogena, Dun & Bradstreet. Since 2018, she has managed customer relationships and marketing for a local photographer. Now that her sons are getting older, Erin is evaluating the next steps in her career. My impression has always been that Erin is a very detailed-oriented, a very strong advocate for children's education and health. After all, they are our future, right? She's a wealth of information about our schools and our community, always willing to help and share her knowledge with others. I think one thing that we often overlook at times is the importance of motherhood. Erin takes being a mom very seriously, and it shows. Congratulations.
So I was told that if I say something, maybe the ladies after me will also say something. So, wink, wink. And I've been to this event before, so I kind of had something ready. Just like a little bit I want to say about the things that I've done in this community. As Bob said, this is our family's last year at AM Culp. I've been there for 9 years helping. I've spent many, many hours at the school and at home planning different events, and it's been a pleasure. I really appreciate that the schools allow parents to come in and help, and especially some of the teachers who reach out to me specifically to ask me to come in to help in their classrooms. We have a new principal the past couple years, Sarah Radigan, and she arrived at our school with a clear mission to elevate, and she has done so. I am also grateful for supportive friends that I've met in my other endeavors. I think a lot of them know who they are, but different things that I get myself into. And I just want to thank Bob and Hatfield Township for recognizing me tonight. And Bob is always supportive of me. I call him with different things. He's a great leader in our community, so I appreciate Bob. And I also want to mention that, yes, he was right. I'm not comfortable with this at all. I was very reluctant. My mom received this recognition in 2022, the first year they did it, and I just felt like I couldn't live up to her, so that's why I didn't think it was my job. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Shahidul Partha. I'm the Commissioner for Hatfield Township, Ward 3. I'm happy to be here for a celebration for Women History Month. For Ward 3, I'm very pleased to nominate Audrey Mannan. I hear few notes about Audrey. She is a senior at the Temple University, majoring in English and the secondary education. She hopes to pursue the TESOL certification after college, which is teaching English to a speaker of other languages. Audrey loves to read and write and is passionate about improving literacy rate. She has experience as a student teacher in several Philadelphia schools and also work a daycare setting. Audrey has been a consistent volunteer at her mosque, which is Hatfield Jami Masjid, for past 7 years, and which is mind-blowing, helping to build stronger ties with the community by responding the questions about Muslim faith. She facilitated the community event. She helped all the community to prepare all the events. She serves as an important role as a translator between English and non-English speaking community members. In our community, we have lots of members who cannot speak English, so she helps. She actually played a vital role in those events. Audrey also volunteers as a teacher at the mosque, religious education classes at the weekend. Sometimes she has been doing through high school and college. Audrey loves being a representative of Islam for the people and attend the mosque, as well as a friendly face to those who are curious to learn more about Islam. And my work with my students at the mosque has been life-defining, as she says, and it was what inspired her to pursue her training in education. She says, I work hard as an educator to my students grow up to have the confidence to become active community members and positive representative of Islam in our community. And thank you, Audrey. Thanks everything for what you do.
Okay, Ward 4. So before they all run up here, and I have a crowd, by the way. I like to have a crowd when we do these things. I'm joking, of course. This is a little unique because we have an organization that's being recognized out of Ward 4 for a couple of different reasons. Not only the fantastic work that they do in Hatfield that you're about to hear about, but also because I'm particularly proud that a number of them are actually not, they don't all just live in Hatfield, or many of them do, but many of them live in Ward 4, which I tease my fellow commissioners that is the best ward in the entire township. So tonight is the night when we can be a little kind of braggadocious as it relates to who lives where. So I'll ask everyone who is here, who is a woman representative of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, to come join me and stand behind me. And I'm sure you're all dying right now because you didn't expect any of that, but no worries, we won't have many of you speak, just a few.
Wow.
Okay, so let me explain to you why we brought a crowd tonight. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what the society does. Are they pinned up against the wall? Is that what's going on? they could not get any further away from the recognition. It's like it's some kind of, it's like a poisonous thing, I'm sure. Their humility and humbleness shows, obviously. So let me tell you a little bit about the organization, and I think after you learn what the organization does, and then I tell you what they do on a regular basis, I think you're going to say, oh yeah, this makes total sense that this organization as a whole would be recognized. There is a little history related to the organization, not just in Hatfield, but internationally. So the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, those of you who are unfamiliar, it is a nonprofit organization that's been helping the poor since it was founded in Paris, France in 1833. The local conference here, located out of St. Maria Goretti, has about 30 members who meet regularly, and the singular purpose is to aid people who need things when it comes to either financial support, clothing, food, furniture. It is helping the poor and helping neighbors. And it is the kind of the grassroots, tires on the ground effort to help those who are in need, whether it is a short-term need or sometimes it is kind of a long-term assistance of some sort. And I'll give you some quick statistics. In 2024, just this group out of Hatfield assisted more than 600 neighbors in the area, Hatfield and otherwise. That's just 1 year. Distributed 2,000 bags of groceries, distributed more than $140,000 in aid, most of it for housing assistance. And these numbers represent a 25 to 30% increase from the previous year, and the need in our community continues to grow. Unfortunately, not to be a dark cloud, but unfortunately over the last couple of years with the pandemic and then rising inflation rates, things have gotten economically more difficult in the sense that people need financial assistance. And these are the people who humbly and unrecognized are helping those people who are avoiding a catastrophic moment where they might lose their home or be asked to leave their apartment or might not have heat, some kind of electrical need, they need to pay for the electric bill. Where do they go? They make a phone call over to St. Maria Goretti, and one of the volunteers answers the phone. 2 volunteers gets assigned to be a representative of that person and to meet with them to determine what the needs are and what the organization can do. Close to 3,000 hours of service is given to neighbors on an annual basis. And these are the things that are people keeping, like I said, keeping neighbors warm, keeping their lights on, and keeping their water running at a time when it is most critical, when they most need it. So that's what the organization does. Oh, I should mention generally, the organization runs on donations. So this is 100% of the money that is received goes to the aid of the people who need it. And this is not, it's a nonprofit for sure, but it is, this is from the good graces of not only the parish and other parishes and other organizations, but people who contribute like you and me, and local companies who will contribute to last month's trivia night, right? They will contribute money not only to be a part of it, but because they know that the money is going to be going to a good cause. So that's what the organization does. So now let me tell you a little bit about these folks. I'm not going to call them up individually, although I will tell you, Mary Chantry is the head of the organization, and she's probably dying right now too. And she keeps everyone else in line. I've been to meetings and does an absolutely wonderful job. And quite frankly, she could be a recipient in her own right. She is the head of this organization that does this wonderful work. Terry Peck, not to single out everyone, but if you didn't realize it, Terry was a recipient of one of the recognized women from last year. So let me tell you from a firsthand experience what this organization looks like. You go into a meeting and there are some men, they're helpful, right? But we're smart enough to know who's running the show, and rightfully so, because they do a wonderful job. I see Dan's smiling at me right now. But you go into a meeting, you sit down, and it is this beautiful moment where you see people talk about, okay, I went out to a house, and it's all done confidentially, so nobody knows who you're talking about. I went out to a house and we met with somebody, and this is what their needs are, and this is what their concerns are. And suddenly it is a brain trust of people who have experience and resources to say, you know, maybe we could help them with this. Have you thought about that for housing? Did you ever think about maybe contacting such and such? Sometimes the need is to make sure that they don't become homeless. Other times it's will help them, the organization will help them get a trail pass so that they can get to work and back, or food because they have a short-term need, or oftentimes it's money for housing and, like I said, electrical bills. And it is these volunteer experts talking about the best way to get the best resources to the neighbor that needs it the most at the right time. And almost from my experience, from what I can tell, it's not 6 months down the road, so you can't just kind of say, okay, we'll get to it when we get to it. The need is immediate, and then somebody goes out and immediately approve it, and then somebody goes out and immediately takes care of it. It is an inspiring thing to see, and I just watch it in awe each of the times that I've sat in the meeting and I've watched it happen. They are, like I said before, they are resident experts when it comes to resources, dealing with federal, state, county, local opportunities and resources for people. And so they are not just people who are giving their time on a regular basis every week, but they are also have trained themselves to become experts in a field where they can help people at their worst moment, and they can really help the neighbor as best, they're best suited to help the neighbor more so than anyone else. So on behalf of Hatfield, there's 18,000 of us. Many of you live in Ward 4, but on top of it, but in particular, on top of Hatfield in general, we want to thank you for everything that you do. I am going to ask Mary just to come up and as head of the organization, just if you have a word or two.
Thank you, Tom. And I really want to thank Tom and Aaron and all of the commissioners for honoring us and for always supporting the society. Tom really didn't leave me much to say, but I do want to say a few words about the extraordinary women and men of our organization. We represent a variety of ages, many different careers, from teachers and nurses to IT professionals, data programmers, insurance managers, or wives and mothers and grandmothers. But the common thread we all share is generosity and giving not just time, but our hearts to help those in need. It's through this service that we realize the profound impact of lifting up others and creating a world that values kindness and mutual support. Simply put, our mission is to serve Christ in the poor and the needy. We do offer practical assistance, we advocate for social justice, and we nurture spiritual growth. Mother Teresa, a woman of profound history and a symbol of service, reminds us of the importance of small acts with great love. She said, "Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love." It is through these small acts, whether it's lending a listening ear, offering food, or helping someone rebuild their life, that we create positive change for those we serve. And thank you for helping us to do that.
I have flowers for everyone.
Everybody gets one.
And there are two kind of recognition pieces here, both that say Women's History Month Recognition 2025. Thank you.
Let's get someone over here on this side, and someone that side. Don't back up to the, no backing up. Awesome. Let's take her lead. How about the ladies of flowers?
Majority of the service
Yes. Somebody can hold that.
tend to be a little bit longer than they should.
Terry, put in there. Get Tom again.
That's good philosophy.
All right, here we go. All right, hold on. Well, there we go, yeah. We'll get you one. One more.
It's on the township.
Actually, Jay, we're not finished yet.
What you do? Maybe you can reverse order next year.
Good evening, everyone. Jerry Anderson, Ward 5. As I'm sitting on a podium listening to all of the recognitions being done or given out, it's really impressive how the women of Hatfield Township are really compassionate and share their love of the community in all the ways that they have. And that's very, very impressive. And I thank you guys. Thank you, ladies, very much. So Ward 5, Leah Cave. So Leah has been a human resource specialist for nearly 20 years and is currently the human resource manager for Serving Spirit Home Care, whose mission is to provide exceptional companions and caregivers so the seniors can remain in their homes. And I can't tell you how important that is. That's a great, great mission. Leah and her husband moved to Hatfield 10 years ago, but as newlyweds, but their main goal was to be near their families. They did not yet realize the importance of our community, and I appreciate that. Looking forward 10 years, Leah has become deeply appreciative of the way Hatfield community has supported her family, from the youth sports to great local restaurants to spending time at Frick's Trail, School Road Park, and the Hatfield Aquatic Center. Summers at the pool is definitely the highlight of their family. Leah is their kids' greatest fans, whether at school or playing sports on the field, as she has also been super involved. For what Leah has done for the Oak Park Home and School Association, she has served recording secretary and president and assisted in fundraising more than $10,000 to ensure the entire school is able to go on field trips with transportation, which is wonderful. Lee has served as the cheer coach for the North Penn Squires, assistant coach for the kindergarten and first grade spirit squad. Lee has been the fundraiser extraordinaire for the North Penn Little League, helping to raise $15,000 to purchase and install 3 new scoreboards for the complex at Moyer Road, $25,000 to help the league's 12U Raiders participation in Cooperstown Dreams Park tournament in New York. Leah has few peers as a team mom, and I want to congratulate her and thank you very much.
You can get into it, come on. Boss will get it, yeah. Let's take a couple steps out. All right.
You gotta get the commissioners.
Oh, we gotta get the commissioner. Let's go, commissioner. All right, it's gonna be a little tricky. It's gonna be a little tricky. All right. I think we can get everybody. All right. Yeah. Here we go. All right. Anybody else? All right. I think we're good. Thank you. Come on, I know you're dying.
Oh,
Over here a little bit. In front of the seal. Great. Take a few with your camera and then some of mine. All right. Yeah, we go. Yeah. All right, a couple more. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you guys. Appreciate it very much.
yeah, I avoided it when I'm at the, I think it's happened to see it once or twice and she's gone. We know, we keep going, he's cool, he's cool, no laughing. Hey, Bill, how are you? Yeah. Yeah.
Now they can go. It will be quick.
Hold on, look it up again.
Trivia night or something.
Everyone who's left, I'll say it plainly, you're free to go. we fully understand that you have lives to lead, and the remainder of our meeting is not nearly as exciting.
As the beginning.
Yes, that's for sure.
They're doing one more photo right by the door. Yeah, they're doing one more lobby photo.
I don't know this. You're a recipient.
Oh, wait, I think she's still here. Deb's still here.
Tom, we give away Tom Deb's flowers.
She's still here.
That's all I'm saying.
You gave me two and I took
I give you another award.
It's okay.
We have an extra award.
You gave me two awards, and there were two flowers up here, and I took them both.
And they snagged them. We do have
No,
another.
I took them.
But they,
Because whatever was here, I
St.
took.
Vincent took it.
Yeah.
We have
So
another
quick grab
award.
them and take them back.
I'll tackle them. You get another award, we have another glass of
Let's do that.
All right.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
As good as flowers.
No, that's a nice. That's a nice thing.
No, do you want to get it now, or do you want to, or she leaving?
I told her to stick around.
Yeah,
since
yeah,
she's here.
she'll stick around. I'll go the other way.
You want to just do it now?
Sure.
All right.
I'll go the other way.
You're going, I think that's long.
Yeah, but
I'll
he's
give the
got
card.
it.
All right. You know where they are?
Yeah, right.
All right, thanks.
Two here, up there, and I gave them all that, so that we have another award. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she's on.
She's like, stop me.
Yeah.
Well,
Boy,
quickly
the
they clear
the
out.
words "you're free to go" really clears a room, doesn't it? We'll just give it another quick moment or two. I think we're in by the time he gets there. Good? Thank you. So I'm going to compare this moment to realizing that when you're at Christmas, you realize there's an extra present under the tree at the last minute. And so we have a recognition plaque and award that we'd like to give to former Commissioner Deb Zimmerman for starting this effort and kind of setting the trail for the rest of us. So Deb, if you'd come up and join us.
He's doing pictures. Thanks, Deb.
Okay, we will jump back into our mundane meeting. We have a couple of action items and then not much more beyond that, so we'll jump right in. There is before us a resolution 2506. There's a motion for approval of the Clemens Food Group land development discussion that we had last meeting. The chair will make a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice President Rogers. So do we need to, I know we went through it publicly before. Any questions or comments from commissioners?
If commissioners do have any questions, Scott Camber, an engineer for Clemens Food Group, is here to answer any, but I think he gave a pretty thorough overview 2 weeks ago.
Yep. Residents, any questions or comments? All right. Well, hearing none, then I will call the question. All in favor of Resolution 2506, say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none is approved. Thank you.
You guys have to stay, though.
Your action item took 2 minutes.
And thanks for all your support for the community.
Yes, thank you. All right, we have bid results. Is there a motion to approve the bid results that are listed in the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Commissioner Andrus, second by Commissioner Lestracco. Those bid results are for propane, Rhodes Energy at $15,007. Heating oil, also Rhodes Energy at $7,281. gasoline from Rhodes Energy at $64,869, and diesel fuel from Rhodes Energy, $25,386. All right, any questions or comments? So there's a motion pending. There are no questions. I'll call the motion. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, those are approved. AB, I guess I jumped ahead.
No, you're fine. The only item, Mr. President, I'd like to just mention to the commissioners and the public, all of these prices are less than last year.
Yeah.
So it's a good news.
Okay, great. Item number 3 is a motion to reject all pool chemical bids. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus,
Second.
second by Vice President Rogers. Aaron, I think you want to.
Sure, yeah,
mention this one?
commissioners, this was just a technical issue with the bidding software and the bidders misinterpreting some of the language and entering incorrect data. So I'm asking the board to reject. We're going to go back out the bid. We'll be here at the next meeting with a motion to award the bids to the low bidder. It was just some miscommunication on some of the bidders' side. So just the housekeeping.
Okay, simple enough. With that, I'll call the question. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Action item number 4, is there a motion for approval of the firehouse purchase for Hatfield and Calmer in the amount of $86,426?
So moved.
Fire hose, I said house, I'm sorry. Fire hose purchase. Obviously, no one's buying a house for $86,000, although that would be awesome if
How
they
many
could.
feet of hose is that?
Significant.
Significant?
Amount of hose. And this is actually this is the first purchase that they're doing jointly based on the presentation that
Yep.
you gave a little earlier tonight. First of many collaborative purchases between the two fire companies.
Fantastic.
Okay,
Make that for a motion.
Yep, okay, motion by Commissioner Andrus, is there a
Second.
second by Vice President Rogers? Questions or comments for fire hose purchase?
Is it just one fire hose?
It is
Or like for all?
multiple
Okay.
hose for both fire companies.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep,
Okay,
I think it comes like pieces, so they
correct.
join
They
it,
connect.
something
Okay.
like that.
just making sure.
All right, with that, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Last, is there a motion for approval for the police car purchase of the police cars as budgeted, which are listed in the agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrews.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Partha. So just for clarity, as budgeted for the 2025 Ford Interceptor, the cost is $51,433. And there's a 2025 Ford Explorer in the amount of $51,764. These are all budgeted. This is a housekeeping item. So this is not particularly new to those of us who have followed the budget. So with that, any questions or comments?
Are these marked or unmarked cars? Which one's the unmarked?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Not to be told. You don't have to.
You'll see me in it.
All right, any other tricky questions?
Just got that.
All right, no other questions, and I will call the question. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. All right, Mr. Solicitor, any report?
Nothing to report tonight.
Excellent. Citizens' comments. Are there any citizens' comments on agenda items or otherwise? All right, seeing none, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion
Second?
by Commissioner Andrus, second by Commissioner Lestracco. Questions or comments about adjournment? Objections? No, hearing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thanks, folks. That is approved. We'll see you 2 weeks next meeting.